Denny Schaefer. He's an idiot.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's another DennyRadio podcast from DennyRadio. It is episode 46. 46. And we're very excited today because we've got a lot of cool things, including a new sponsor. And we'll get to all of that shortly. But first, what are we going to talk about on today's podcast?
Today, empty nesting syndrome. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's probably becoming more prevalent in today's world. More people are talking about it, but a lot of people don't really talk about it, don't understand it. And so we're going to break it down. So we're looking for the boomers out there, the Gen Xers that are watching,
boomers
that have been through this, that you share your wisdom, you share your advice, or anything that you can give this generation now of parents who are getting ready to release their kids into the wild. Because I do know for a fact someone I just had a conversation with recently, and she's like, how did you navigate this? So, because she's got two that she'll be sending her first one off. So,
okay.
Anyway.
So that's our topic. So get those in the comments so we can have some fun today. Now,
yes.
Trivia question.
Which U.S. president could speak the most languages, and how many languages could he speak? No cheating. You have about 36 seconds to think of an answer. Put them in the comments if you have an answer. You have an answer at all?
Well, I was going to ask for a hint. Is it a president from our lifetime? Because I'm just going to say,
well, your lifetime or my lifetime?
I'm going to say President Obama, only because, he traveled the world, and, we all know he wasn't born in this country. Kidding. I don't know. I don't care. Anyway, so that would be my guess.
So which president could speak the most languages, y'all? How many different languages could he speak?
7.
We do have a Rick Keith on Instagram, and Julie Wellstead watching on Instagram. Okay. Oh, she's already given empty nester advice.
Good.
All right. So anyway, so we are thrilled to welcome Brittany Pearson with Touch and Glow Studio for the Wednesday sponsor of May. And she actually is offering Mother's Day deals, people.
Ooh,
so let's take a look at Brittany.
Welcome to Touch and Glow Studio, where your journey to rejuvenation and self-care begins. My mission is to provide a serene and nurturing environment where you can unwind and indulge in personalized treatments designed to enhance your natural beauty. Whether you're seeking a moment of relaxation or a complete beauty transformation, I am dedicated to helping you achieve your desired glow. Join me at Touch and Glow Studio to find out what your skin has been missing.
Ooh.
I'm relaxed just by watching that.
No kidding.
Because I've been in her care before, and she's amazing.
So where is her studio? Where would people?
She's actually in Levis Commons in Perrysburg.
Okay.
So it's great because you can go get a meal, go get dialed up by her and relaxed, and then go window shopping if you want. I've had that towel on my face, and when she does the scalp massage at the very end of the facial, I have fallen asleep and I've woken myself up snoring.
Snoring?
Yeah.
That's funny. Snorting?
Either one.
All right.
Yeah.
Touch and Glow Studio.
Touch and Glow.
Brittany, there's her number, moms.
Yep. And dads, because right now she has a Mother's Day deal going. So check her out. She's on Instagram. There's her
touchandglowstudio.glossgenius.com. Okay,
right,
that's not too confusing, but we have it on the ticker for you.
Yep. And she has body waxing. She offers chemical peels, eyebrow threading, which I've never had done before. Have you?
Eyebrow
threading.
Threading. Oh, I thought you said spreading.
No. Facials, of course, skin treatments, and dermaplane. One thing I want to go to her for is a chemical peel. I've never had one, but it takes away, I think, the top layer of your face or something like that. But you peel for 4 days after or something. It's something crazy. And
Okay.
I've seen women in that process and it's scary. So you have to hibernate.
Anyway, what a perfect sponsor for this time of year.
Oh, I know.
So,
So,
all right, there you go, people.
right.
Support our sponsors.
yes. Which U.S. president could speak the most languages?
I'm just saying, Obama.
How many different languages could he speak? Do we have any guests in the comments?
Let's see. Terry White, howdy, hump day. Good afternoon, Dan.
Dan saying
Dodo Joe, dude, nice to see you.
Dan's guessing Roosevelt. Terry is saying Truman.
Truman, your guess.
Julian.
What up, Julian?
Okay.
What is that one?
He's talking about Joe.
What is it? What's he saying? I can't see it.
It's not Joe Biden.
He can't speak even one language. Okay.
All right. Okay. Low Joe. Yeah, I noticed you haven't been on here, dude.
He's been supporting the radio show.
The ticket.
Yeah, he's the only texter I get. Him and Super Cooch.
Okay, so here's the answer.
John Quincy Adams.
He could speak 9.
English, French, Dutch, German, Latin, Spanish, Greek, Italian, and Russian.
Yep.
Okay.
So here's the breakdown. More than half of the 45 people who have served as POTUS have spoken only one language, English. 16 are considered multilingual, and I'm going to give a few of those. And then 5 presidents could speak in 2 languages. And those 5 presidents, Woodrow Wilson, Carter, Clinton, Obama, and Bush.
Oh, wow. Wow, this is Spanish. It helped our political careers.
Well, so John Quincy Adams was the first one with 9. Theodore Roosevelt had 7. So Dan was not too far off. And Thomas Jefferson could speak 6.
There you go.
So, yeah, one of them, and I can't remember who, spoke Mandarin.
Huh.
So,
I like their oranges.
anyway. So there you go. Little trivia.
All right.
You can
thank
use it on
people.
somebody later on this week.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. Before we get into the dealio, can we talk about the rain Monday night?
Yeah.
So
which round?
Played golf and get home watching. Was it the Cavs game on Monday? I don't know.
No, Knicks.
No, I think they were. I don't know who was on, but watching hoops. 8:30. I finally get done with all my stuff, and I'm lying in bed watching basketball. And I'll tell you what, that storm come rolling through. Probably started about 8:00, and it reminded me of hurricanes when we were in New Orleans. What the heck was our hurricane we went through? Hurricane, I don't know, whatever it was. It was nonstop freaking rain, and it was raining so hard on the condo. I'm like, please, Lord, please don't let us have any leaks, or please let the sump pump work like it's supposed to. And it was nonstop. I mean, thunder and lightning and rumbling and grumbling till 11:30. I mean, it was non-stop.
I did fall asleep. Did you hear the whole thing?
Oh, I heard most of it. I'd fall asleep and then I would wake up, and I'd fall asleep. I'd wake up. I'm like, come on. I looked at the radar at one point and I'm like, holy cow, this says that there's no break until almost midnight.
It was like a gigantic circle. It was going up through mid-Michigan, coming back down. It was coming from like the southeast, following almost like along the Lake Erie. And we were, because down in Perrysburg and that, they got some, but we were the red cell.
Hammered.
4 rounds.
Hammered.
4 rounds.
Just reminded me of Hurricane, whatever it was.
Isaac.
That sounds right. Could be.
That's who it was.
All right, cool. There you go. Just wanted to get that out. All right. What
let's
are our
see
comments
real
on
quick.
the empty
so
nesting?
Terry is saying hi.
Howdy.
Julian's saying what up.
And
hey,
Sharon.
Julian.
Thanks for including
thank
Sharon.
you. And we have t-shirts that we are ordering people, Denny Radio t-shirts. They're super cool. We should have had a little sample.
Yeah, my bad. Wasn't prepared.
Laura, good afternoon.
We'll have them probably, there's a possibility we could have them on at the post Cinco de Mayo party which is Thursday. If we can work
Tomorrow.
out how in the heck tomorrow,
Yeah.
depending on how you can get there, because I'm doing a remote. We got to figure all that out.
Yeah.
We would have to run by Frogtown Teas, Rob and Amy. We'd have to swing by, pay for them, and then we'd have them with us.
Okay.
Could always give one away if we wanted to.
Mm.
Now we'll keep it to you guys, podcasters.
Let's see. Chef Dan is saying hi to you on
What's
Instagram.
up, Chef Dan?
Enjoy watching. Hope all is well. Have a blessed day.
It's awesome, Dan.
So there you go. So, Monday we talked about how you stay healthy as we age.
Right. And
This is what my husband brings home from Costco, people. Okay.
Girl Scout
So,
mint ice cream sandwich with chocolate chips, as you can see.
sandwich
It's only 310 calories. That's all.
only.
And okay, so I caved on Saturday. I had one. And then Sunday is always ice cream day because that's how my family was raised. Sunday was ice cream day. So we would always have ice cream on Sunday when we had it. Anyway, and so Sunday I had another one, but I haven't had one since. How many of you had, lady?
So after our podcast of what do you do to stay healthy, I went upstairs and I had a salad for my lunch,
Good work.
followed by one of those stupid big ass sandwiches.
Okay.
That's my sandwich right there. I'm sitting outside in the sunshine. And I'm like,
310
okay,
calories.
I have to take a picture of that for Wednesday because we literally just talked about how do you stay healthy as you age.
It's so good.
But I am a moderation. So I had
You
my
are.
salad and I had my ice cream.
You are.
So.
You know what I could do is before the end of the podcast is bring up the picture of the
Or do we want a
t-shirt.
surprise?
Well, whatever.
Maybe one day we'll just show up and we'll have them on. Everyone will be like, oh my gosh.
I got to get one of those.
Yeah.
We're thinking about starting an online store for our swag. So,
Okay.
anyway, our swag of a t-shirt. That's all we have. That's our swag.
All right, people. Again, refresher, empty nesting syndrome.
Okay, what is that first off? And I need to know, did I suffer it?
So empty nesting syndrome is when your kids go off to college or move out of the house.
Yep.
And maybe you have several children, maybe you only have one children. I mean, for us, we had our oldest who stayed locally and she lived at home, saved a buttload of money. So we saw her like we normally would.
Yep,
Until
every day.
she started student teaching, and then she was gone for like 12 hours at a day. But our baby went actually off to college.
Our baby.
Well, he is our baby.
I know, but he's 6'3" and 180 pounds. Just doesn't sound like a baby size to me. But anyway, that's a big baby.
You ask
Anyway.
any mom, and their youngest will
I
always be
know.
their baby.
I know.
So, anyways, what people are growing to understand is that there is actual emotions that come with that for the parents. Because all of a sudden your whole, and you and I did talk about this, the whole family dynamic at home changes. There's adjustments, there's emotions, there's sadness, there's excitement for some, So, anyways, let's just read a couple. You can read Nurse Terry's here.
I'm currently an empty nester. It's tough, but I just keep busy by hanging with friends, self-care, walking, and HIIT. I don't know, what, hitting people,
Hit
working.
somebody.
And I see my daughter weekly. She lives in BG and we have lunch or dinner. I also read and get involved with my church when I can. Boom. Terry, you got to figure it out, girl.
Yep.
Nice work.
Julie says, I call it getting them off the payroll.
Yeah, that's mine too. I like that. That's the greatest day ever. Well, one's still flirting with the payroll.
So, I mean, like, what did you go through when, because Olivia, it was just like having her here when she was through high school.
Right.
She lived at home for
But
free.
If Olivia lived hours away and Josh lived hours away, I mean, Josh is 45 minutes to Ann Arbor? Want to see him? Matter of fact, this weekend, hopefully you're going to see him.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to see him. I mean, it's just the way it is because I'll text him and say, want a free meal? And he responds back to those. He always responds to that. Hey, I'm coming up. Want a free meal? Yeah. Anyway, I think it'd be different if Olivia lived in Cleveland or Cincinnati or, you know, Grand Rapids, Michigan, somewhere where it's a couple hours and it's like, you know, probably once a month you'd go see them.
Yeah.
But I had no issues with empty nesting at all. Contrary to popular belief that there are people that I know who thought I was really going to struggle with it. And that does not seem to be the case for me. I like this stage as much as I did before we had kids.
But now. But we're talking when Josh first moved out and we came back to Ann Arbor. There was an emptiness, there was a sadness because again, our family dynamic changed. Now I do know in all the research, this is typically more common in women because we're kind of like the primary caretaker. We're the nurturer. We carry that child for 9 months, so we already have that relationship with the child before you get to meet the person. But, but I remember you were, and we made an effort to probably once a week go up and see him, try to, because you don't want to smother them. You don't want to be the helicopter parent when they're away because they're trying to, especially I think it's different for guys than it is for girls.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't remember that. If it did, I got over it pretty quick. I was like, hey, I'm going to go play golf. I don't remember that at all. And I don't know, maybe I blocked it out, but I'm looking at it today, right now. I love it. If we just had a cat or two die, life would be good.
No, I'm sure there'd be something else.
No, that's it. We didn't have the responsibility. Every day, every morning. Listen, there's a lot worse things, but there's nothing more enjoyable because I always get up first of going in and emptying that cat litter before I've had my coffee. It just, the smell of fresh cat litter. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that.
Imagine walking into your cat litter.
Well, you don't do that every morning though. And I empty the cat litter every morning before you get up and it's a lot of fun. So, I don't know. Does that mean I don't love my kids as much as you do? Because I know you miss them more than I do.
I think, or I wonder, is it different for, we had kids late in life, so we were a little bit older than say the standard or high school sweethearts that get married and they have kids right away. 20s. And then they're like, by our age now, they already have several grandchildren,
Right.
So I think there could be, because, we were a little long in the tooth and playing ball or whatever was a little bit more brittle bone-ish for us.
No, not everything was fine till after like late in high school. And I really slowed down, but I don't have any regrets about any of it.
And I think for moms too, like, especially for me, I was a stay-at-home mom, but then I started working out of the house once they got like in the high school ages and stuff, and then started my own business. So I think having that business kept me busy, kept me kind of distracted or whatever. But for a lot of women who are the stay-at-home mom, like even still, it's like a hard, like, what do I do with my time? And even my own mom, after all of us kids were grown and had our own families, when she would babysit Olivia, she just wanted that time back. She missed that baby,
Yeah, I don't miss that. I don't.
Well,
I remember when we finally could leave the house without a freaking diaper bag. That was the greatest.
Well,
man.
yeah, that was
awesome.
Well, psychologists say it may take between 18 months and 2 years to make the successful transition, especially for moms, to become that less mom and more of an independent woman. The challenges faced by parents experiencing empty nest syndrome include establishing a new kind of relationship with their adult children, which we pray about all the time.
Every day.
How do we now in this stage coach them, mentor them, speak truth into them without, controlling them or being a helicopter parent or whatever.
Yeah, I started something. I don't know how long ago it was. How long ago was it?
How long ago was what?
When I started just let them.
After we had dinner with John and Julie said, let him.
No, I was doing it before that.
She asked the book. She told us about the book.
Oh, I was already doing it before then. Anyway, so yeah, but that was later on. I should have been doing more of that when they were in high school, but I didn't.
Another challenge by parents, becoming a couple again after years of sharing the home with children. That's probably one of the biggest, because couples tend to put the children first,
right,
and their relationship on the back burner. I mean, how many times over our life have we heard that?
Yep. Now we have all our attention on the podcast. That's what we do.
Filling the void in the daily routine created by absent children, and lack of sympathy or understanding from others who consider children moving out to be a normal, healthy event. So,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Should be.
And other things like,
I mean, if your whole life is your kids, then there's something going on in your life that needs to be addressed. Your kids can't be your life. Just can't.
Well, yeah, but don't you think that school sports and travel sports has brought that?
I don't know.
I mean, parents are constantly gone and driving around their kids, and, unless the kid is in driving age. I mean, I had one of my dear friends in Atlanta. She's like, you know what? If I could do it all over again, I would not have had my son in travel sports.
I know.
Because they were gone every single weekend.
I know my brother John with Jack, baseball, and Caitlin tennis. I mean, they were just, gone. I was so thankful our kids didn't do that. Well, robotics, but that wasn't every weekend. Robotics was awesome, though. That was fun with Josh going all over the place for the robotic stuff. But no, if you show me a couple who's struggling with being an empty nester, and I'll show you a couple that has issues they've never addressed between them. It's a couple thing. It's a husband-wife thing, because you can't live for your kids. You just can't. And when they're gone, you can't just, then you're like, okay, now what? I mean, was that the glue that kept your marriage together? It can't be, because if it is, your marriage isn't very good.
Right. What brought you together in the first place?
Sex.
Retirement and menopause are also two challenges faced with, because then for menopause, a whole different emotional ball game.
Yep.
But this is one thing I do love about empty nesting.
You and Olivia at Sidelines Italian.
Yeah. But just, being able to have a dinner
up in AA
and, talk about adult things. I mean, now it's so much fun to be able to talk to them about,
This is my favorite phase. Of all the phases, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because, not because of that picture, but I mean, it's so cool to see them turning into decent human beings.
Mm.
And, the jury's still out, but, time will tell.
Yeah. What is Terry saying? Lived in Dayton. It was hard because I couldn't go there as often. Made me sad, but I just tried my best to keep busy, and that's key. So, all right. Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. BG is nothing,
So one of the things too, I read about was about employers and how they can help people that are going through the empty nest syndrome, because they're bringing their emotional baggage to work. Offer the parent a flexible work arrangement such as remote or reduced hours. Employee assistance programs provide confidential counseling and support to that employee and their family. Wellness programs that focus on physical, mental, and emotional health. Of course, there's the social aspect of going out and socializing, and then also providing financial planning workshops to help that employee, because the financial demands are also part of that empty nest syndrome, because now you are probably undertaking debt of education,
college. Yeah.
room and board, groceries,
All of that
stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That will never be paid back.
So what do you have over there?
What about the benefits of empty nesting for an opportunity to do stuff that you can do now that you never had the time for? About exploring things. Like now, I read more now than I ever have. Actual books, which I love, that to me is kind of awesome. But see, but it's hard for me to relate to this discussion because I don't suffer from it.
Well, we're also 3 years in. So you're supposed to be giving wisdom to the young parents who are watching now or later that are actually going through this right now.
Okay. If you're struggling being an empty nester, then I would contact a Christian counselor or a counselor or somebody you trust, because you got to work through some stuff, because this is the way it is. I mean, at some point they're going to go. And if your whole life is wrapped up in them and you find yourself miserable, then there's another layer under there that you haven't even, approached. So, I mean, that would be my advice. Seek somebody to talk to. I mean, and there's no shame in that, man. Done that many times over our marriage, personally, and this too shall pass.
They say, unlike the grief experienced when, for an example, a loved one dies, the grief of empty nest syndrome often goes unrecognized because an adult child moving out of the home is seen as normal, healthy event. So everybody looks at you like, oh my gosh, this is like the chain of life. And this is how, and it is. I mean, that is our responsibility to raise them up and, let them go.
Right.
But you can't help your emotions. I mean, it comes with it. It's like someone saying to you, oh, well, just get over it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still think if it lingers and you spiral into, and it's affecting you, there's something going on that needs to be addressed that hasn't been addressed. Just saying. Wounds probably from your childhood growing up. Who knows? But
what is Rob? Rob, I don't know that day will ever come.
Honestly, I don't care about that. I never even think about it. I just had a buddy of mine, I'm in a thread with my high school buddies, like 12 of us, and they're always posting pictures. Oh, so-and-so was just born, another grandkid. I'm just like, that's awesome. I don't sit there and go, oh, I'd love to have a grandkid. No, don't care about that. I just let them be good adults, find good Christian spouses to marry. And, and if it happens, it happens when I'm alive. And if it doesn't, that's okay too.
Well, I think it's funny because Olivia has always said, oh, kids, I don't want them, whatever. And of course, now she's a teacher and she loves it. But Josh, just the other day when he was here and I said, look, dude, you've got clothes in the closet. You got clothes in a suitcase downstairs. You have a chest full of clothes. That's not including all of his clothes up in his own room. So I was pulling stuff out of the closet and there was a Michigan game 1 trophy, whatever, national champions or something. I don't know what it was. And I'm like, it's wrinkled. I mean, it's been hanging. He didn't even know he has it. He goes, oh no. He goes, save that, because I want my kid to wear that someday. And wow. I thought that's so sweet. Like he's already thinking like, I want my kid to wear that t-shirt someday.
That's pretty cool.
I'm going to back up.
All right, there you go. Now, here's another thing too. It's really frustrating being an empty nester. This part is so frustrating. When you text your kids and they don't respond, like for days. So here's what you do, parents, empty nester parents, change the Netflix password or the password for Disney Plus or whatever, because then all of a sudden they'll be reaching out. There you go. You're welcome. That's how you do it.
Is that it?
Yep.
That's what you have?
No, that's one of them. When mothers talk about the depression of the empty nest, they're not mourning the passing of all those wet towels on the floor or the music that numbs your teeth or even the bottles of capless shampoo dribbling down the shower drain. They're upset because they've gone from supervisor of a child's life to a spectator. It's like being the vice president of the United States. That's kind of funny. I'll give you that.
How about our son sharing living with the two guys and how they leave their dirty dishes in the sink all the time? And he's like, I'm not your maid. And the thought actually occurred to him. Now I know what mom felt like all these years.
It was awesome.
But then he had to back it up with, well, yeah, but we didn't leave full plates of food. So he had to like justify.
Yeah, but it was empty plates. They couldn't find the dishwasher. It was like we moved the dishwasher on them every time they had a meal and they didn't know where it was. But then he gets back up to Ann Arbor after we have this conversation and he texts us a picture of, I should show it because I've got it on my phone, of a half-eaten bowl of cereal just sitting right there on the counter.
That's a boy for you.
Some people weren't raised right. I don't do that.
No, but guys typically do things like that.
Correct.
So
I don't like the term empty nesters. I prefer parents of free range adults. I like
sounds
that.
like a chicken. When my brother and I moved out of the house, my dad would not be able to find a tool. We would no longer be blamed or be blamed for driving on the grass.
Oh yeah. That was always a
That's funny.
ugly one.
So what did you say about you were doing like positives, right?
Well,
So here is oh, hold on here. What is Renee saying? No sadness on my end. I look forward to dating my husband again. That's so sweet, Renee.
That is Renee.
I look forward to dating my husband. Oh, she said it twice.
Wow.
She must mean it.
Well, I look forward to dating him too.
Well, we still have our dates.
We have date nights.
Well, not since we've been on a budget
No.
Or-
Or no. What are you talking about?
or stop drinking. You
we
stopped
get
drinking.
this. We get the sweet deals, and so we go out like once a week.
Okay. So here is coping with stress and depression. These are the things that are suggested that we pursue. Acknowledge your grief, first of all.
There you go. It's real.
You can't do anything with it unless you acknowledge something. Come to the terms with the difficult change and with the adjustments. Create your own rituals to help acknowledge your feelings. Discuss your thoughts, feelings, and future plans with your spouse. I don't know. I mean, do you think that's a good idea? I mean, future plans, I could see.
With your
Discuss
spouse?
your thoughts and feelings. I mean, because if it's over and over again,
I mean, if it's the same conversation over and over and over again, why does that keep happening? Why is it not getting better? Maybe we wanted to talk to.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm questioning.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? You pointed at me. What does
I
that mean?
know because
Like what?
you've
Give me an
been
example.
like, oh my gosh, are we going to talk about this again? So I was going to say with your spouse or with a counselor. I was going to have the counselor
There
on
you
there.
go.
Seek advice and support from other friends who understand how you feel. Some of them may have also experienced the empty nest. Yeah, I mean, who can give you better empathy or advice than someone who has gone through what you're going through?
Right.
Give your time to adapt to the changes. Pursue your hobbies and interests.
Boom. Biggie right there. Biggie.
Keep a journal. Find peace through prayer. Do whatever feels right for you.
Oh, that's good.
Put off making big decisions.
I don't know about the do what you feel's right for you. What if it's like drugs, to get through it? I'm not sure that's good advice. Just saying.
Put off making any big decisions, such as selling and moving to a smaller house. Oops.
Yeah. Well, we
Well,
downsized.
no. Again, we're 3 years in, 4 years in. What are we? I don't know.
3 years, 4 years into what? Oh, empty nesting?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Josh, he had been back and forth, but
Keep up regular self-care routines in your diet and exercise and seek professional help when overwhelmed. And then, of course, plan in advance if it's your first of several children and you know what you're going through, even though maybe you got 4 more kids at home. Start planning, or preparing yourself for that day of when they're all gone.
there you go.
There's such a thing as boomerang empty nesting.
Oh, yeah, that happened. You left your house. Did you ever move back?
No.
Yeah, well,
Mm-mm.
I did twice. Radio jobs, good career. When I first moved out, me and my cousin, that lasted about, oh my gosh, that lasted like 6 months. And moved back
Living with
home.
your cousin?
My cousin and I, my first apartment,
Mm.
we worked together, worked construction right out of high school.
Mhm.
And we're like, yeah, we're making money. Let's get an apartment. So we did. And that lasted like 6 months. And then moved back home. And then shortly, and then it was probably, I don't know. I was out within like a few months. And then one of my radio jobs went in there, I got fired in Cadillac and came home just for like a month or two. And then after that, so I was probably, I don't know, 21, 22, maybe I was out, and that was it.
I mean, for me now, I also love the freedom. I love like, what's for dinner? I don't know. It's like, for me, as far as having to plan out meals or the grocery shopping and all that kind of stuff. And so I really love this time. And if you ask either one of our children, they would not want to move back home, because that actually came up at dinner the other night. And they were like, Livia's had a taste of her being on her own in her own apartment. And she will never go back. She doesn't even want an apartment. She doesn't even want a roommate.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
And Josh, with his future, he's like, no, you don't want to move back either. That kid would be homeless before he moved back home.
Nah, that's not true. He'd come back home. Someplace warm, food. Yeah, he'd be all over that.
All right, let's see here.
Here's my philosophy. Love them, leave them, give them one more back if times get tough.
One move back.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
like a grace period.
Yeah.
See, LDJ, that's wonderful.
I mean, do you really? I mean, my dad always told me, once you're out, you're out. You're never coming back. Well, I came back twice. So Mr. Tough Guy, Big Don.
Let them know they always have your support and advice. Right. And I mean, and I think we're pretty good about that, especially with Josh, just like, and I even offered to help him move, because he's got to move out of his apartment now again. So, but he's got it under control, and again, that's the difference between male, female, I think, So anyway. All right. So I think that's it. Let's go to our funny video. We're going to end early today, which is good with us. This is the one you're going to have to put the speaker up.
Okay.
We're empty nesters. Of course, we're going to brag about it to our friends our age who still have kids at home.
We're empty nesters. We can go out to eat more often because it's cheaper for two than it is for a whole family.
We're empty nesters. We go to bed with a clean kitchen and empty sink, and we wake up to a clean kitchen and empty sink.
Amen.
We're empty nesters. We don't have to play musical cars anymore because we only have 2 cars in our driveway.
We're empty nesters. We're going to cancel plans with anyone and everyone if we find out our adult kids are coming into town.
We're empty nesters. No more texting kids all around and waiting up all evening for our teenagers to come home.
We're empty nesters. We never have to make another kid's lunch or run out at 8 o'clock at night to get supplies for a project.
We're empty nesters. We can cook one night and make it last all week, and our grocery bill is cut right in half.
We're empty nesters. Of course, we're going to check our adult children's location before bedtime just to help us sleep a little more soundly.
Welcome to
Boom. Okay. There you go. Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, totally relate to a lot of that. And they have their kids on the GPS, so you know where they are, which we told the kids because they don't like it. And I'm like, get your own cell phone plan, but neither of them have gotten off the plan. So once they get off the plan, then they're off the GPS. So there you go.
All right. So Friday.
All things mom.
Yep. Because Mother's Day is Sunday.
All right.
So we will be talking about, you have a story, right? About the mom.
Mother's Day gift rule sparks social media debate. So we'll run through that.
But we'll talk about everything mom, if your mom's passed, what you miss about her, what did she teach you? What did you most respect about your mom? I mean, there's just so many different things about moms. So, yep. So, all right. I think that's it.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. Share the video, please. Share the podcast. Coming soon, the Denny Radio t-shirts.
See you Friday at noon.
Denny Schaefer. He's an idiot.